What up everyone, it's your boy Xmanny87 here, bringing you another Marvel Legends video, and what I have for you today is the Marvel Legends X-Men Wave Bonebreaker Build-A-Figure Series Maggott action figure review. Before I get into everything, if you could please leave a thumbs up like rating on the video, it'll help show your support for my channel and I greatly appreciate it. Now, with that said, it's time for me to give you another 1-2 punch episode of the Uncanny X-Men-y story time, and then we'll take a look at the figure. Let's go! Japheth, aka Maggott, first appeared in Uncanny X-Men issue number 345, titled Moving On, in June 1997, and was created by Scott Lobdell and Joe Madureira. So here I want to tackle deep into Maggott's origins because it involves my favorite X-Men character, Magneto, and if you are associated with Magneto, then I automatically love you. Japheth was born in South Africa and was one of 5 brothers. Being sick with a stomach disease that grew in abnormal proportions as a kid, doctors told his parents he had stomach cancer. His parents couldn't keep up with medical expenses and Japheth did not want to be a burden to them. So he tried to commit suicide by stealing their Jeep and drove until it ran out of gas, which resulted in a car crash. What he didn't know was that his baby brother was sleeping in the back of the Jeep. They walked and walked and walked, trying to get help until they couldn't move anymore, blaming himself for killing his brother. Suddenly, Magneto appears and used his powers to stop the pain in the boys' bodies. With the touch of Magneto's powers, 2 big giant techno-organic slugs came out of Japheth's oversized stomach. Magneto accompanies the boys that night. He told Japheth about mutants and their destiny to lead the world, and how they are persecuted just for being born. Japheth couldn't understand what he was saying as the slugs only seemed to eat, which turned his skin blue and got stronger. When Magneto took the boys back home, they discovered that their older brother was killed by the militia. Magneto went to pay a visit at their base to kill them all, which he did, and left. What a G. He told Japheth that one day they'll meet again. The slugs return to his body as they are his digestive system. The slugs have to eat through his skin in order to return, which is a very painful procedure for him. Which is why he attempted suicide several times. He would name himself Maggott and his slugs Eenie and Meenie. He was looking for Magneto, whom he confused with Joseph, Magneto's clone, and traced his steps until he reached New York City, in which he was met with an attack by Psylocke. The slugs were about to eat her alive, despite Maggott's orders not to, as he tried reasoning with her, but was rescued by Archangel just in time. The two managed to defeat Maggott. Then Psylocke teleported the 3 to Antarctica, where Gambit's trial was going on, so they can talk more. Maggott found Joseph, who was knocked down by Magneto. He cashed in his favor, telling him to play along in the trial. When returning to the X-Mansion, they joined the rest of the X-Men. Cyclops had a bomb implanted on him. They managed to take it off, but it was about to explode. Maggott sent one of his slugs to eat it. This is how he earned his spot in the rank of the X-Men. As an X-Men member, he spent a lot of time with the team and felt that he found his place. He helped the team succeed in important missions such as defeating Sauron, saving Joseph's life by preventing Sabra from killing him, who was mistaken for Magneto. He also saved Wolverine's life from a race hailing in another dimension called the Rutai that actually looked like his slugs. After his adventures with the X-Men, he would join the team of Generation X and then later died at the hands of Weapon X. After some time, he would later be resurrected by Hellfire Club member Selene Gallio to seek revenge on the X-Men for standing in her way of being a goddess. Maggott resurfaces in the current House of X story arcs with more of his classic look. For powers and abilities, Maggott lacks a normal digestive system. In its place are 2 large techno-organic slug-like creatures, as I mentioned before, named Eenie and Meenie. While outside of his body, they can eat and digest any material rapidly, including adamantium. When they re-enter his body through his abdomen, he gains superhuman strength and stamina using the energy they create through digestion. Eenie and Meenie appear to be able to act independently of Maggott. Maggott has a low-level telepathic connection to Eenie and Meenie, which allows them to communicate. Maggott also has the ability to see events, including future events, due to a low-powered psychometric power that Eenie and Meenie may also possess. The awesomely bizarre mutant known as Maggott has appeared in over 370 issues. It's freaking Maggott, man. This is one of those weird, cool characters that I liked growing up in the 90s, and oh my god, did they nail it here. He looks so creepy. I love it. The eyes are so freaking cool. Love the red and yellowish eyes that we see here. It feels like he has kind of this shadow around his eyes too. That digital tech definitely brings that out, I feel. But yeah, he's got like a sadistic looking smile. The wrinkles on his forehead looks good. And the mini quiff hairstyle right there cracks me up. So man, they really did a great job. You can see like this vein bulging right there on his temple. So that looks cool. Wow, man, Hasbro killed it with this guy here. This is an incredible head sculpt. I absolutely love it. And just taking a look around, boy, does this guy blend in with my blue background. Yeah, man, look at that side profile right there. He just looks incredible. Prepare, I might gush all over this video. One thing that's missing that I feel is important is his goggles, and they're not present in this figure at all. So I tried grabbing a G.I. Joe Classified Series Firefly goggles to see if that would work, and it's too tactical. I did see Robo from the Fwoosh use the shades from the Pimp Daddy Destro in the G.I. Joe Classified Series line, so I mean, you can do that. He has worn shades before, but this could work too. My favorite pair are actually the goggles from the Cobra Island Target exclusive Cobra Troopers from the G.I. Joe Classified Series line. And these look absolutely fantastic. Now, if you paint the lens entirely in red, because you know how it has that little half/serpent iris kind of look, oh man, then you are good to go. Yeah, these, oh, man, I think I might do it. This looks fantastic. I don't know why they left the goggles out. It's such an important look of the character, in my opinion. You know, I feel like it was a necessity here. So, yeah, definitely adds more character to this portrait. All right, moving on from the head sculpt, which I can talk about forever. Look at the rest of the body here. He's on the first Hercules body, not the naked one from the Retro series, but I've been dying to see this body mold used again, and I'm happy it's on Maggott because Maggott is a huge freaking dude. I mean, the dude's 6'8", so this fits perfectly for his stature. So we get the Hercules torso, the Hercules legs completely. Well, not completely, because these knee pads are new. And we do get new pinless arms too, which I'm happy about. And we get this nice overlay jacket here with some cool shoulder pads right there. So we'll take a closer look at that. But yeah, I love the size of this guy. You know, you can put him in some really cool poses, even if you want to get him into like some big man kind of running poses, you know, like if he's a football player or something, do the kind of Heisman-like trophy pose. You can definitely do that, you know. Oh man, that you know, something like that would just look really, really cool. I like the way this looks. I mean, he just posed nicely, and I've always liked the Maggott character. And the only thing is that this jacket, I would love for it to, you know, stay up like that. It is pliable, but it's kind of a hard kind of pliable. It's not that soft pliable where it would just stay in place. So yeah, something like that would have looked really cool to, you know, do a nice dynamic running pose and just any kind of lunging pose, jumping pose. Because with a big guy who can move really fast, you want to get a lot of dynamic posing for him. Yeah, I had a lot of fun posing this guy. He is a ton of fun. But anyways, let's take a closer look at his details. So you see the jacket here looks really good. Nice texturing too. It just feels really nice. You got the shoulder pads with lots of wear and tear right there. You see some dings. You see some like armor pieces chipped off. So it looks really good. You get these yellow discs around the shoulder pad, which looks a very AOA style, right? You know, AOA always had those balls and discs on collars and shoulder pads and such. So this guy does look like he comes from the AOA universe. Then more texture on the upper arms right there. So the shoulder sockets, the shoulder piece on the arm, that is nicely textured. You got the rolled up sleeves in yellow. Pinless arms, which look great, man. They're bulging with veins too, so that looks really nice. I like how the shoulder piece here is attached to the jacket, so you know, it's not around the shoulder collar, which it would have been nice, but I understand why they attached it here. But it doesn't really hinder much of the articulation. I mean, this piece is very bulky right here, the shoulder piece, so he wouldn't really get anything higher than a normal T-pose. So yeah, nice paintwork on the discs, the rolled up sleeves, and just taking a look at this entire jacket. Man, it's so nice. Beautiful texturing. This is beautiful texturing. Got pockets right there, buttons. Now, he usually has a shirt, kind of baggy, but they gave him a kind of tank top instead because they just painted it in white. Would have been nice if it was a sculpted layered shirt, you know what I mean? I think they could have done that over this body, you know? I feel like there was plenty of room to do that. It doesn't really bother me when I was posing him around, but would have really been nice to have it. But yeah, taking a look at the pinless arms again, getting a closer look at the veins right there. Man, this dude is jacked. Really jacked. Ooh, he's got some shadowing there too. I see what they did. They did some shadowing on the arms here. All right. I see that. Some shadowing right here on the forearms. Yeah, near the veins. That's really cool. He's got his maroon-like looking gloves, fingerless gloves. So he's got that. Would have been nice if he had fists for accessories, you know, because I want this dude punching too, not just gripping hands. So I think I wanted that probably more than goggles. As we approach the lower body, you see he has another layered piece here, the belt. It's a new belt, nice texturing there, and the holes and the belt buckle right there. He's got his maroon-like looking pants. So as you can see, nice texturing again, Hercules legs. And these are new knee pads, as I mentioned before. And as you can see, yeah, nice. Nice. I just wish they were a little bit weathered. Like some overspray would have definitely helped bring that nice details. As you can see, there's some cracks and wear and tear in there. So that would have been nice. He's on pins though. He's not pinless right here. But the jacket kind of hides that it has pins. So that is a good thing. But, you know, would have been nice if it was pinless. But I understand this is a reuse from a time that they weren't using the pinless tech. And then you get his boots right there, you know, same as Hercules. Lots of wear and tear in blue. Man, they did a good job with selecting this body mold for Maggott. Man, I never thought we would get a Maggott figure. Don't know why I didn't even think of it when they came out with this body too. And I'm just really happy. And got the serial number there at the bottom of the feet. And that's it. Now for accessories, it can't be Maggott without his techno-organic slugs. So here we have Eenie and Meanie. And you can't tell one apart from the other. So I'm going to go with Eenie on this one because he looks more relaxed, you know, chilled out. I'm going with Meanie on this one. He looks like a Meanie. Look at him. And he's curled up, looking like he's about to eat something. So, yeah. I'm just going with Eenie with this one, Meanie with this one, and wow, they look really cool. As a kid, I liked creepy insects, so I thought these were like really cool. I wish they were in a blue color though, you know? That should be the color of his maggots, I feel. Like a bluish, silverish kind of color. I like the red eyes right there, you know, the teeth, the creepy legs. So, wow. Man, they did a really, really good job with this. Nice sculpt altogether. Kind of wish they were bendy wired. That would have brought it to another level. It definitely would have brought it to another level. That way you could pose them however you want. But still, this is a neat sculpt. I'm happy with it. And you could display it on him to hold. So let's just take Meanie here and curl it around his forearm right here. And what I like to do is make sure that he has a nice firm grip on it. So it's kind of form-fitted for Meanie to just lay on his arms like that. So you see there's no gaps or anything right there. And he's curled up tightly to his forearm. So that is really, really good. I do like that. And then with Eenie here, you could just have him resting on his shoulder like so. So he could stay just like that. Well, come on, stay in place. There you go. Yeah, so you could have him low like that. Maybe a little lower, a little higher to his face right there. If it can hang a bit, come on, it can hang. And there we go. Or if you want it on this side, close to Meanie, you can do that as well. Oh my god, he looks phenomenal, man. This is such a freaking epic figure. And I can relate to this character too, since I suffer from a stomach disease now. I don't have maggots in my stomach whatsoever, but I can definitely relate to the excruciating abdominal pain. And you don't have to limit Eenie and Meanie on Maggott, because if you want to feed him, you can just take Meanie right here and wrap it around someone's face. So, like, he can eat him like that. You know, Eenie around here, like maybe at the waist, something, you know. You could do something like that. And does this look like a torturous death? Won't work on my boy Vulcan, though. So yeah, Maggott, Eeny and Meeny here, 2 thumbs up. Now to cover articulation with Maggott, his head moves about that far up and that far down. Moves left, right with some slight pivot. His arms move about that far up, which I showed you before. You're not going to get a traditional T-pose. It moves down. You can move it all around. This shoulder piece won't hinder it. You got the bicep swivel, double jointed pinless elbows right there, wrist swivel, and a wrist hinge. The ab crunch moves that far forward and that far back. You got a waist swivel. Legs move about that far apart, and you got legs that kick up that high and that far back. You got his legs that rock around. Thigh swivel, double jointed knees, but no heel to the Maggott butt. And you have the boot swivel right here. And his ankles do move up real high. They move down real low. And you got the all-around ankle rockers right here. Now for some comparisons, here is Maggott next to the 90s versions of Wolverine and Psylocke. Here is Maggott next to Selene Gallio. Here is Maggott next to the House of X Cyclops and Marvel Girl. Here is Maggott next to the AOA Magneto and House of X Magneto. Lastly, here is Maggott next to his fellow wave mate, Bonebreaker. Bonebreaker Baf review is on deck. And now to wrap things up, my final rating is a 9 out of 10. This to me is the best figure out of the single cards in this wave. They captured the character to the core, except for the exclusion of the goggles. But I really do feel like this is Maggott. His head sculpt is phenomenal. The digital tech print brings out some nice shadowing that'll highlight dark lighting in your photography to bring out those menacing eyes. Arguably the best head sculpt in the wave. The newly sculpted parts and layers hide the Hercules body to make it feel like it's his own sometimes. Very vibrant colors to stand out in a shelf. A brilliant reuse of this body mold here to make a new character just feel new. The articulation is just so good and flexible to pose around. It's definitely one of the best big guy body molds they have. Eeny and Meeny are awesome accessories, and they are not just accessories to me, as they are characters too. They do feel like their own figures, which is important. Having them posed on Maggott or another figure really adds to the play factor. I only wished he came with goggles and hands to round this figure out. For display options, you can display this guy on your 90s X-Men shelf if you want to put together that 97-98 team he was on, or House of X since he was seen sporting this look. For me, I'm going with House of X to bolster that shelf as it can use that extra help. Whether you are a fan of this character or not, you can't deny this is an awesome figure. I warned you I was going to gush all over this figure. Definitely one of my top favorite Marvel Legends of the year. If he doesn't end up in my top 10, he'll be in my top 20 for sure. Now I kick it back to you. What do you think of this Maggott figure? What's your favorite thing about him or my review? What would you rate him from a score of 1 to 10? Comment below, let me know, we'll chat about it. Please follow me on Instagram if you haven't already at xmanny87. Hit the notification bell so you always know when my latest videos are up. Share and subscribe if you're new. Enjoy the pics at the end of the video. See you on the next review. Peace.